4, 3, 2, 1.
Whether you've been married 1 or 20 plus years, at some point you realize you married into crazy. And that's what our show is all about. If your marriage or relationship is compassionate, real, accountable, zealous and yielding, or just plain crazy, Snooks and Lovey offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as they unpack this thing called marriage. Sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
Welcome back to another episode of the Meriden Crazy Podcast with Snooks and Lovey.
I'm Snooks.
I'm Lovey. Hey, and you guys are going to want to stick around for this one because it is now 2025.
Wow.
And it's time to thrive. Everything that's happened prior to this year, I'm not going to say forget about it, but I'm going to say that it's in the past. Can't do anything about what's happened in the past, but what we can do is give you some tools to help you thrive in 25.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to start off. It's going to be one of those days, guys, where I say a whole lot and she says, mm-hmm. And then she's going to complain about me not letting her talk.
I was getting ready to say something and then you started talking, but go ahead.
No, so listen, it is 2025. It's January, right? And so next week, January 15th, registration closes for the Married into Crazy Winter Ball and Marriage Conference.
So that's what I was going to say was one of the tools that I think would be good for 2025. Our Winter Ball and Marriage Conference. You're going to get a whole lot of information, practical information, things that you can apply in your marriage. So first of all, you're going to have fun because you're going to be dancing and just eating and just fellowshipping with other couples, like-minded couples who enjoy being with their spouses. That's Friday night. And then Saturday, that's when we get down to the nitty-gritty, as my dad used to say. We have different topics, speakers, and stuff that are going to just bless your marriage.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And so we have G3 Healing Foods that's going to be providing the catering on Friday night. We're going to be dancing to the music of the Sugar High Band. It's 90s throwback. So we're going to have a phenomenal time. And then like Snook said, on Saturday, not only do we have vendors that are going to be set up, that are going to be able to bless your relationships with their different products and services, but we're going to have at least five dynamic speakers. They're going to be talking on different topics to pour into your marriage or your long-term relationship. Because this isn't just about the married couples. Primarily, yes, but it's for those people that are married and that aspire to be married. So make sure if you haven't already picked up your tickets, get them. Go over to maridintocrazy.com and click on the Winter Ball tab in order to get your tickets. You can see a lot of the things that we have laid out for you.
Yep.
But that's a resource. That's a tool. That's something that you can definitely use. And even if you don't go to our particular program or our event, there are so many other opportunities throughout the year that you can go to marriage retreats, destination retreats, different things that you can do to really invest in your relationship, invest in your marriage, so you can take it to the next level from wherever you are right now to get it to that next level.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And we found that was something that really did bless our marriage. We have been looking for years, I think it was. We always wanted to go to a marriage retreat. I'd hear about it from other people. I'm like, why you didn't tell me about it? All offended. But once we were able to actually do so ourselves, we were like, we like this. This is just, it wasn't even about having a resource or whatever. You know, you always want to be around like-minded people. We were around like-minded couples because people go to these type of things that care about their relationship. They want to see it improve. And if you say that, oh, well, my marriage is okay, my relationship is good, let's make it better. You know, we always talk in different companies. Oh my God, what is the word I'm looking for? Not companies, but in the company of other people. Like we have these different conversations, talking about leveling up. We want to level up with our finances. We want to level up with our business. Got a business plan. We want to level up with our fitness. You know, we got to eat right and got to do all these things. We put all this leveling up into other areas, but we don't ever look at our relationship. Of course, I'm generalizing, but we don't really look at our relationships like we need to level up. You know, it's like, Everywhere else we could be stellar. We're top notch. But when it comes to our relationship, I feel like everyone's okay with it just being status quo. Oh, it's all right. It's good. It's whatever. So let's start the year out by talking about leveling up.
Absolutely. Don't wait for the dummy panel to come on in this vehicle we call marriage, right? Because a lot of times in your car, you know the oil needs to get changed. You know it's supposed to happen every, whatever the manufacturer recommends, every 5,000 miles, every 7,500 miles, every 10,000 miles, depending upon the vehicle. But we wait for the dummy panel. We wait for the light to come on, right? It's like, the car's been sounding kind of weird. I should take it in. But we're like, you know what? I'll just keep driving it. And then you do. And then when the light comes on, then all of a sudden it's letting you know that danger. Something's happening that needs your attention immediately. Don't let the dummy light come on for your relationship or for your marriage. Because by the time the dummy light comes on in your relationship, it's really saying, hey, you big dummy, you're about to lose this thing that you care about so much.
So, quick question. I never heard it referred to as a dummy panel. Is that what it's called for real? Or
if you go to a mechanic,
make it up?
If you go to a mechanic and you say dummy light, they know exactly what you're talking about.
Wow.
Hey, my dummy light just came on for this,
Really?
for my engine check light, light, all those things.
I didn't know there was a particular. It's
a
called
nickname.
that.
Oh yeah, it's widely known
Wow.
as the dummy light.
Okay. I learned something new. Okay.
Look, so we're going to give you tonight
Go
4 different areas with the little subtopics in each one of them to actually take a look at.
First of all, I'm so sorry. We want to say we hope everyone enjoyed their holidays, Christmas, New Year's. It is 2025. I know you heard Lovey say that, and obviously it's 2025 when you listen to this. But
How's it first of all when it's like the 20th thing we talked about?
no, I'm just saying before we get down into what we're going to talk about, I just feel like it's appropriate to say, we hope everyone enjoy their holidays. What's wrong with that?
I had a safe holiday as well. And you're
I'll
excited
try to get
about
it on my
2025. Well, look, let's get started. Look, we've talked about this before, so I'm going to call this 2025. In order to thrive, it's got to be the year of detox. And the detox specifically is going to be a digital detox. You'll see a lot of individuals, social media gurus, you'll see a lot of friends that wait till either this time of year or around Easter where they say, I'm giving up this. I'm giving up my phone. I'm giving up social media. I'm giving up all that. It's extremely appropriate because what we want to do is banish the blue light blues. And, you get the blue light from looking at that screen. We're talking about how the blue light actually messes up your eyesight and your ability to go to sleep. And I can go deep into the science regarding the pineal gland and what it does there. And
too far.
Messes with your circadian rhythm. Too much?
Just keep it.
No, but what we want to do is declare phone-free evenings or phone-free weekends. And there's different ways you can do this detox. But I'm talking about, okay, let's say it's Friday night. I don't even like the idea of doing Friday night. I like the idea of saying, okay, come Saturday or Sunday, all day long, no phone. Keep it off. Now, I know that there's people out there saying, but I've got kids and I've got this, I've got that. You know what? I get that. We do too. But I'm going to say this, that more times than not, everybody that's the most important, I'm going to say more times than not, depending upon the stage of your life, everybody that's important, for the most part, are in your 4 walls or in your home. If you've got young kids, we're not tripping on the digital detox because they're there in the house. If they're older, make it known that, hey, we're doing a digital detox. On this day, we're not going to be answering phones. As a matter of fact, it won't even be on. Let people know ahead of time. The most important people, let them know. And give them, another way. If you need me, you got to swing by.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. And if you're doing that,
the management does not approve.
I don't know. If you're doing all that,
the management
that
does
means that you
not
need a detox.
approve. Oh my gosh.
It's always the person.
Is it
saying,
the person?
Hey, Jimmy, you need to cut back on your drinking. No, I don't.
Is it
I'm not giving up.
Is it always?
It's always.
No, I just feel like it could be, when I think of digital detox, not necessarily, your people can't call you, but what about social media digital detox? Stuff like that takes you away from the people that are in your 4 walls or whatever. Because if my mama call, I'm going to answer. You know what I'm saying? So there are ways that you can do that digital detox.
See how she put her mama before me? Did y'all catch that? I caught it. I'm just saying. Because my mama called.
I'm just saying there isn't another. I feel like that could be the option. You know, the thing that is not like, okay, I might need my phone because I might be working or whatever, but the thing that isn't pressing, like social media is not pressing as far as like, oh, I got to look at it, unless, okay, that's your business. I don't know. But like sometimes we just get stuck in the scroll and just swiping or whatever it is. So maybe detoxing from that. How about that? Can we compromise?
Depends. You know what? It's up for discussion, right? It's something that you need to have a conversation about to say, well, it's a good idea, I think, but what would that look like in our house? And I don't want to be like, okay, what are we comfortable with? That's the wrong question. It's, okay, what is going to make us uncomfortable but manageable to the point where we're not like losing our minds? Because there's levels to this, right? Like one of our business partners that we work with is he and his team are actually doing a variation on Daniel's diet, or like the kind of, but they're part of their fasting is digital. They're doing a digital fast where for a portion of the day, there is absolutely no internet, you know, other than like the job. I won't say the internet. There's no like social media, this, that, and the other. So to your point, there is different levels that you can attack this. And that's just one of them. But I'm just saying that talk about it. See how far you can take it within reason. You know, because some people got to talk to their mama no matter what. So another thing.
Such a hater.
I was going to say is like date night 2.0. If you can't do like a full day or a weekend, because I think that would be pretty amazing, or a weekend or anything like that, what about date night 2.0? Meaning like when we go out, the moment you leave your house, phones off.
Okay, so I feel like we kind of did that a little bit this past weekend. It was our 28th anniversary weekend, and we went to Napa. We had a great time, but we didn't really have our phones out and stuff like that. We took some pictures, but we weren't really, I mean, we were engaged. I know the point that you're making is like, instead of being with the phone and whatever, be engaged with each other or in the moment, in the environment, what you're doing, appreciate the surroundings and stuff like that. So, I mean, I felt like we kind of did that.
Well, and I think that's a good start. I think we were 75% of the way there.
No, brother.
No, because what did we do? Oh, take a picture of my food. We did do that.
Okay. I want memories. What's wrong with that?
But the memory is us, our time.
I wanted, anyway, go ahead.
I'm just saying, again, there's levels to this. Ooh, so I'm being controversial right here in my own house.
Whatever. You're always controversial in your own house.
But another thing might be, if you're not into like the getting rid of the technology aspect of it from that point, as far as, oh, I want to take a picture of my food and blah, 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 all that. And I got to have my phone just in case my mama calls during our date.
Hater.
Do something. The date itself could be very detox oriented, meaning instead of going to some place in the city or the suburbs or wherever, you go to a place where there's no reception. You sit there and say, okay, you know what? We're going to go for a hike. During the hike, phone in the backpack. We're going to go for a nature walk. We're going to go to a museum. We're going to do something that's going to require you. And I'm not talking about to the movies. I'm talking because I know you can't take your phone out though some of y'all do. Some of y'all take your phones out in the movies and it makes us mad. But anyway.
That does make me mad.
No, but I'm not talking about environments like that. I'm talking about a hike, museum, something where it's a little different and it's just not encouraged to have your phones out. I think that would be really interesting. Or like, you know, you go to the zoo, something, instead of taking pictures of the animals, you do something and you set aside some time during this date period to not utilize your phone at all.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm down with that, except for going somewhere where there's no reception, because that's the start of a scary movie. But okay.
But it could be fun. Okay, so
not fun.
So one of the sub clauses might even be like, okay, so after work on Tuesday, we can do like a tech-free Tuesday. So no, when I get home, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Let your mama know. Let everybody know.
Wow.
Don't call. No, I'm just playing. Unless it's an emergency. Just like everybody. Hey, and you can make it known. Like, hey, on Tuesdays, that's our night. It's Tech Free Tuesday. So we're going to actually, or Screen Free Saturday, or something along those lines, where it's going to be a day of board games and puzzles and playing in the backyard, or whatever it is. It might even be just curling up, watching a movie, but zero phones, zero tech, zero screen time. And so those are things that you can do as a detox for 2025. I think that would make for a very interesting year as we're becoming more and more dependent upon technology, AI, and all these different variations or iterations of artificial intelligence. Now it's in our phones. You got Apple Intelligence, where we sit there and say, you know what? No, I'm going to get back to basics and connect. So that's something you can do.
Okay. I could get behind some of that.
Some of that.
I will not get behind all of it, but I can get behind some of it. But one thing too, like reigniting childhood dreams. So, I mean, I don't know how that would work. What was
my childhood dreams are quite pornographic, so I'm down for this one. I was that kid at the library, like, excuse me, ma'am, do you have a Playboy? They're like, you look like an upstanding kid. Yes, I am. And I need to read an article that's in the latest edition of Playboy.
Did they have Playboys?
They sure did at the public library.
Really?
Behind the counter.
Wow.
Sean Johnson, if you're listening, you know what I'm talking about.
Wow. I never knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I mean, I guess it is a magazine. So
they had it. They had that. And they also had Penthouse Forum. The stories.
Penthouse Forum.
I told you my childhood dreams were quite pornographic. That's what happens when you go to Catholic school.
Anyway, so we won't be doing anything that you dreamed of. So any of your childhood dreams. But one of my childhood dreams was to play the piano. So we should take up piano lessons together.
That would be cool.
You would do it?
You know what? I'm up for it. Anything that we talk about on the podcast,
okay,
I'm down for trying.
I mean,
especially my childhood dreams.
Well, again, that will not be happening. I don't even know what they were, but no, it won't be happening. That would be fun.
No, and I think that's worth investigating. So really sitting down, it's kind of a two-parter, right? It's like having a conversation about what was most important to you when you were a kid, or what did you dream of? What did you like? What was your interest? What did you love to do when you were a kid? And then in having that conversation, you're learning more about each other. And you might even unlock some memories that you didn't normally have. And I would even take it a step further. If your parents are still alive, or you have aunties and uncles, ask them, what do you remember most about me? What did I love to do? What was because sometimes we grow up.
That's true.
And we lock out some of the memories from the things that we used to do. Because I know there's been times where people have brought up things. And I'm like, you know what? I did do that. Or, you know what? And then it's all of a sudden you have this flood of memories that come in like, oh my God, I did do that. I used to love doing that. Whatever happened, life gets in the way. Yeah. So not only have the conversation with each other, but have a conversation together with like, hey, auntie, what do you remember about me when I was growing up that I loved to do? Oh, I remember you used to go to the library all the time.
I was gonna say, they ain't gonna know about why you went to the library, but
right.
No.
I did. I lived at the Martin Luther King Library over in Meadowview.
Wow.
Right there on 24.
I remember that library too. I used to love that place.
But I occasionally got a book too, a regular book.
Oh my goodness.
Just so you know.
I'm so sorry y'all had to hear that. But anyway, so yeah, childhood, any other childhood dreams that you seriously, you can remember wanting to do, you had.
I wanted to be an Olympian. I just wanted to do something, find a sport that I could actually win a gold medal in.
Wow, really?
I did. I really wanted to. I was that guy that watched the Worldwide of Sports.
I remember the ABC's
Wide World of Sports.
Yeah. ABC's Worldwide of Sports.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Yes. I remember they had the different
clips of different.
Yeah, and I remember one specifically was like there was like canoeing or something like that.
There was skiing and people
whatever. They showed it. Yeah.
It was amazing. I wish they would bring something like that back. But I would watch that and be amazed at all the different sports.
Yep,
I watched everything. And I was like, I could do that. I can't do that. No, nope, not. But I can do that. I'm like, I wonder if there's
That's cool.
if that's in the Olympics. I used to really think about that, and I was a really good athlete, but it was one of those things where somehow or another I just got, I went down the line, pigeonholed. Yeah, I went down the line of basketball and football. I said the non-traditional sports, But
I mean, did they offer any other stuff that know?
No.
So
It was baseball, football, basketball.
yeah,
That was pretty much it. But I mean, there were other things, but it wasn't cool to go play the other sports. So I just didn't go that route. But no, that's something. And I loved comics, which is funny because I'm a Marvel fanatic.
yeah,
And that's a connection to my childhood because I'm able to
that's cool.
reconnect and all that. Because, I always, so like when her cousins and I get together, we nerd out.
Yeah, he feels right at home. But it's so funny too that you talk about that's one thing about Marvel. I'll say you talk about getting fans and new fans or whatever, because I'll learn something or I'll see when Marvel first came on the scene movie wise, and Lovey was like, oh yeah, because I had this comic book or blah blah blah. So he started getting me into it, like, oh, where's the Marvel, the comic books and stuff. And then I found that big book, that Marvel, yeah. So it was like all the stories of all the characters and stuff like that. So
it's
cool.
like the Marvel Origins.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but finally, it's like playing piano. I think that's a really cool idea. I've kind of wanted to play piano, but I was like, that's too much work.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I took lessons for a little while.
And maybe it's not about me wanting to play piano, but you want to play piano. So maybe it's like, let's have a discussion about we each take up an instrument. Like why wouldn't you play piano to my harmonica? I play harmonica every now and then. I don't do well. I'll get to a certain point. I just actually downloaded a bunch of, or not downloaded, but I just liked a bunch of harmonica players on TikTok so I could follow some of their instruction and get back into it. It's about making time, right? If it's a priority, you will make time. Why are you laughing though?
Because that's what I was thinking. It's so funny that you even said that, because I was thinking that, like, and your harmonica does not count, but you said it first.
I had to sneak it in.
That's so funny. Anyway, so I was going to say doing something outside of your comfort zone, other than, like you said, our traditional, we go to the movies, we go out to dinner, we may take occasional walks or what have you, but doing skydiving, I don't know that I would do that, but I said that before about zip lining, and that was one of the most funnest dates that we ever had.
And you don't have to go skydiving. Now they have indoor skydiving.
Oh, the thing with didn't you and Kiki do that?
Yeah, me and the kids did that. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that you were sick when we did that.
Or I was faking sick. I don't know.
But that's something like indoor skydiving. That's something that there's a lot of things that are recreated now in safer environments. So we can have like an indoor skydiving date. Or you can go to a go-kart racing place where that's a lot of fun, where you can go indoor kart racing.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
So something that's just non-traditional, but different. Maybe we take a day where we're just going to go like, you know what, let's go to the water park, and not the kids. We just go and we're going to do water slides.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun. Or go to Great America, just us.
Just us, yeah. Going to amusement parks, and that's kind of double dipping there. It's revisiting the things that we enjoyed when we were kids, but it's also doing something that's a little off the beaten path.
Mm-hmm. Another fun date that we had. I know we said going out to dinner, but we can do dinner with a twist, like the foodie tour or whatever.
That was so much fun.
That was fun. In Vegas, it's almost like now we kind of do our own little foodie tours. Not like we go back to back to back, but we look for different restaurants that we've never been. You're like, let's go check it out, and so we're all our own foodie people, So.
That's so true. We just in Napa, and let me give a shout out real quick. A couple of shout outs. Number one, I want to shout out Little Sisters Goodies.
Yeah, Little Sis Goodies.
Little Sis Goodies over in Napa, California. Soul food place in downtown Napa.
So good.
So good.
So good.
I was like shocked, and the people were just down home. They were
very nice,
very super nice.
Yep. Food was delicious.
Yep, the food was amazing. And so if you're looking for a good soul food place in Napa, California, get your wine on, but also get your soul food on, that's a great spot. So I want to definitely shout them out. And then also, we had an amazing experience. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, there's a place called Steel Curtain Wine Club. Look up Steel Curtain Napa. And what you'll find is that there's a wine cave that has a professional affiliation with several football teams, actually the entire AFC North, which I really love, but also the Steelers. And what they do is they can actually get wine. You can join a club and become part of the wine club, and they'll send you bottles of wine that have some type of connection to the Steelers. Like we drank a bottle of Dynasty, and the label talks about how the Steelers built a dynasty. There's another bottle that we tried called Immaculate, and it's paying homage to the Immaculate Reception by Franco Harris. But it was just us. It was amazing. We thought it was
amazing. Yeah.
That was going to be a tour with a bunch of people. They did this for just us. And it was a last minute find because I was trying to find some place to watch the football game and came across this. I mean, you can't watch the game in there. It's a wine cave. But it was a really cool find. And it was just very different from anything that we've ever done before.
Yeah. It was incredible. A cave. I mean, when you see it, it was just incredible. So
and shout out to Lisa. Lisa, you were amazing. You were an incredible hostess. We had so much fun. The conversation was great. And then she gave us space to just sit there and talk. And then she came in at the right time just to offer some more information about what they do and how they serve people. And we had some great conversations about both of our backgrounds. And it was just, it was an amazing 28th anniversary. We did that actually on our anniversary.
Yeah. And it wasn't just, when you go wine tasting, you have some wine and that's it. No, there was cheese, crackers, salami,
chocolate,
fruit. Yeah. It's a whole little spread. So
cheesecake. I mean,
it
was definitely worth it. Find something like that in your area or something that strikes your fancy and just go the extra mile. Just go the extra mile. It was definitely worth it. So I think that's a neat way to actually connect out of the norm as well.
Yeah.
But we're talking about all these things that we do together. Well, we don't want you to lose your individuality as well. I think you can do focusing on you. So it's like me time with a twist. And that means that, and we've touched on this several times before in different ways, but encouraging your spouse to have that me time, encouraging, your husband or your wife to take a day trip by themselves. I'm not talking about, and I mean, again, there's levels to this, but encourage them to go to the spa by themselves, just to have the connect. It could be a girl time or me hanging out with the fellas, or more importantly, it could be like a time to really just disconnect from everything and just do it by yourself. Go to the spa by yourself to just chill and relax and think and read. A lot of times when you go to a spa, they have these common areas where you're in the spa for your treatment, but then you have access to the common areas, the jacuzzi, the sauna, the salt bath, the different things that are there, the ice plunge. There's so many different things you can do, and you can be there all day long. And so there's something to think about where it's like, I just want to get away and spend some time there. You can take a book and just read and do whatever. So I think not just the spa, I know I'm placing a lot of emphasis there, but whatever strikes your fancy. Maybe it's like, you know what, I'd like to go to San Francisco for the weekend. You go get a hotel room and you go in the city and you walk the pier and you eat the donuts and you
ain't doing that by yourself.
But whatever it may be, it might just be something, but I highly encourage having that me time with a twist.
No, I get it. For me, even just being able to, if you don't go anywhere, I commandeer the house. It's so funny how the four of us, when we're here, we get so super excited when we find out that, oh, nobody's going to be home. Oh, you're going out for the day. Okay. So you plan your whole day accordingly because you have the house to yourself. Sometimes that's all it takes is just everybody getting out of the house for a couple hours or whatever. And you can just decompress in the living room or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be something major, big. It can be, but it can be something very small to where you tell everybody they got to get out.
Right. And I think that would be so much fun. And it is. It always is when you get that time. It's like, what? Nobody's here? With me, I almost like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I end up working a lot. But in those moments where I'm like, okay, nobody's going to bother me. No one's going to come in the middle of the penguin episode and use the ice maker and have all the ice dropping.
Wow. That's very specific.
I'm not saying it happened. I'm just saying, that's just something that
it
came to
sounds
mind.
very specific. So,
But there's also the art of appreciation to where it's a variation on me time. It's really you time being celebrated by me. Like if you see something that your spouse does or something that you truly appreciate that they do, that everyone takes for granted, calling it out. And I'm going to ask you to do one thing further to make sure that your relationship truly thrives in 2025. Call it out, but set aside a jar and write out these things that you appreciate. What I love about you is this, or what I really appreciate about you is this. It's one thing to say it, but then write it down. And at the end of the year, just keep filling that jar up, both of you. And at the end of the year, read that. Read the little things, pull them out and just read them to see, why? On this day you said that you appreciate this, and it'll spark that memory. And it gives a hit of dopamine to know that, what, I truly am appreciated.
Yep.
So I think that's a variation on the you time. And so.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off while I was getting ready to. But also, we talk about doing all these different things. We also want to be mindful that typically in January is when we start out with the resolutions and whatever, and then we get serious about our finances. We get serious about our finances at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year.
Finances and fitness.
But so make it fun. Like do game nights where I don't want to say put your money where your mouth is, but kind of
back to my childhood dreams. Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, so no, do some type of game that deals with budgeting, real life situations,
Gamify
fun.
it. There's ways to actually do this. We've talked about it in the past, but there is, what's Devonna Sinclair's game? We have like 3 of them.
Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street. It's like playing Monopoly, but it teaches Black history, specifically about the Tulsa riot and massacre. But it's great. It teaches you how to develop a business plan. They've gamified business plans, planning, investments. It's really, really cool. It's a fun game. But maybe there's like a game night where it's like, okay, you know what? We're going to focus on our fitness when it comes to finances and play this game, and then have a conversation during the game. Like as you're having fun, like, okay, how do we apply this to our life right now? How do we play? Well, it would be nice, during the game. Well, it'd be nice to have all those properties. Well, what can we do in real life to really make this happen? What about investments? Oh, it must be nice to invest it in that utility company. Okay, how do we make that happen for real? So it's like gamifying these finances and then dreaming big, getting back to dreaming. Beginning of the year, it's nice to sit here and do the traditional vision board, all that. If you notice, this is the first time in probably like 5 years that we haven't really sat down and did a big production about doing vision boards. Because this year I want to be more focused on having an action board. Really putting disciplined action to the things that we want to accomplish this year and beyond. So rather than talking about, I want to dream about this, it's like, okay, well, what do we really want to accomplish? And what are the steps I'm going to take to get there? Okay, let's focus on those things. The dream is important, but it's also about putting it together. So if I want to dream about, our finances and, creating wealth and doing these different things, how do we make that fun? Let's drive around. Let's look at these things. Let's talk to some people. Let's watch a podcast or listen to, a show or something or other about that. Have a discussion about it and try and make it as fun as absolutely possible. Because if you can't smile and enjoy it, then it just kind of becomes something that you're not really looking forward to.
That's true.
You can also do something that's a little fun. Learn how to be frugal. We talk about living within your means.
That's fun.
It can be if you sit there and say, okay, what? We're going to do a mystery date night where you can spend no more than $50. Just put a number out there, 50, 30, 20, whatever it may be, 10. And have some fun. Like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a date night and we're not going to spend any more than this. And then you have to find something and be creative to make it fit within. I see her frowning up. She's like, that ain't my kind of date. But to make it fun, it's like, okay, you know what? spend no more than $25. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over
Each person or just for the whole date?
figure it out.
Okay.
Figure it out. Come up with something really cool. Like, okay, it's just like a white elephant gift. Oh, we're going to give out gifts and you can't spend any more than $25. Well, do the exact same thing, but when it comes to your date night, it might be like, okay, we're going to go do this. So then you might go to Cold Stone Creamery or your local ice cream parlor, if you have a local one, and say, okay, we're going to do instead of a wine tasting, we're going to do an ice cream tasting. And set something up to where it's inexpensive, it's fun, it's unique, it's different, but it's underneath a certain amount. And you'll enjoy that because you have to tap into the creative side of your mind.
I was going to say, plus it requires you to research, like you said, tap into the creative side of your mind. But you can't just be like, oh yeah, let's just go to dinner and not think about it. It's like it requires you to plan in a sense. So
absolutely. So on the 18th of this month, on January 18th, we have a mystery date night.
I'll let y'all know how it go.
And Snooks has no idea what we're doing, where we're going, what city it's going to be in, what she needs to. I'll tell her what she needs to wear. And
yeah.
But and I got this from Cloyce and Sheila Dickerson. You know, they have an organization. Actually, they're a pair of our speakers that are going to be on stage at the Winter Ball and Marriage Conference. And they do this, or I should say Cloyce. I don't know if Sheila really does it, but I know Cloyce likes to plan these mystery dates where he just tells his wife, hey, this time, this place, this is what we're doing. And they go and she's surprised. And he even does it so far as for the birthday. We've done that in the past where, like, you know, I've taken Snooks to Vegas to go see, what's her name?
Oh, now you don't know her name. Toni Braxton.
Because she wouldn't sit on my lap because my wife, anyway, that's a whole other story.
You're so ridiculous.
But like surprises, you know, there's different things you can do. Just get creative. And that's something else you can do. And that's a financial thing. It's both on the creative side, date night, but it's also on the financial side. It's like, hey, there are things that we can do that doesn't require us to break the bank.
That's true.
So if you really, truly want to thrive in 2025, it's going to require some mental gymnastics to try and figure out different, unique ways of doing things that you haven't done before. And it might also be a little bit of, we make sure we don't do the things we did before that got us into
the situation or wherever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it.
Those are the 4 areas. We encourage you to really focus on your relationship this year. Be intentional about what you're going to accomplish in 2025 when it comes to your marriage or long-term relationship. And I guarantee you're going to thrive in 2025.
But also, just again, as an added tool, resource, what have you, go to shop.meridintocrazy.com and click on the Winter Ball and Marriage Conference and get your tickets.
And you can also go there and see all the different things that we do to really lift up marriage.
But get the tickets first and then look. No.
Soon, very soon, you're going to see some exciting news about some of the new offerings we're going to have that's going to appeal to a wider audience. People have been asking for this for the past 2 years, and we're probably going to be bringing to the marketplace, something that we believe is going to benefit many more couples. It's been asked for, and we're finally able to follow through on it. So keep your eyes and ears open for that as well. It's going to be rolled out at the Winter Conference.
Yeah.
Right. So until the next time,
be blessed.
Be blessed.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey. Please like, subscribe to, and review the show wherever you access it, and tell a friend about us. Visit marriedintocrazy.com and see how Snooks and Lovey can bless your marriage directly.